Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that America doesn't get back home with the coverage. A lot of it's the success stories that actually go on over here in terms of the sacrifice and development that this country actually is undergoing. A period of transition is actually huge steps that would really take cultures many years, and rightfully so. The one thing that the news doesn't capture, I don't think, is that this is a long process, and the long process is we're either here for the long haul, several years, and then slowly pull out. I don't think they're getting the feel. All they're getting is the bad coverage of what's going on in Baghdad, or you hear some of the violence with the Shia and the Sunni, and the drastic stories and over-dramatizations of what's going on. But there's a lot of success going on in the city, even though it doesn't appear to be successful in the news. So I think more realistic, maybe more in-depth stories within specific units to actually see that a lot of sacrifice and hard work is actually being conducted out here. I really think that the totality of the whole theater, if you want to group everything together, from development of the justice system in terms of how we're actually prosecuting detainees after we collect them up with the Iraqi army and Iraqi police, working together with the coalition forces. I don't think that's covered on enough with that partnership that we're really starting to develop with the army, the police, and the coalition. And all we're trying to do is get them hovering really above the ground a little bit, off the deck, and getting ready to take off. But I don't think that is even captured in the news, because that's really the intent, is to crawl, walk, run, and right now they're in the partially crawling phase. And it takes a lot of forces here on the deck, a lot of grunts on the ground actually in doing things, as well as a lot of political synergy with the actual justice systems and the political facets of the country. So when you try to tie all that together, I don't think that's captured in the least back home in terms of how we're going to accomplish the mission over here. So a lot of things get lost, they get clouded, and when that gets clouded, all you see is bad news, bad news, bad news. And don't get me wrong, it's really frustrating over here in terms of the constraints we're under, and in terms of staffing, and in terms of actual cultural differences, because the cultural difference is night and day. You can't make someone who grew up not really working hard for something instantly make them have instant work ethic. I don't think that's going to happen. That takes generations. It could take years. But that's not our job to change necessarily, but it's our job to show them that it's going to take hard work, patience, and time in order for us to teach and get them off the deck and running into the future. So I think that being said, that whole snapshot of what's taking place over here isn't collected cumulatively or as one big shot, more comprehensive. There's not a comprehensive snapshot of Iraq. It's just hit and miss story. Whatever makes the news, whatever bomb's biggest, whatever IED made the biggest blast. So lots of lives are being lost, but it's the totality of what's going on, I don't think, is captured.